Yo, welcome back to another episode of the Rock Fantasy Files. This time we're here to talk about a gig we got going on in Middletown this weekend. It's the Hudson Valley United Throwdown at Quinn's Pins here in Middletown, New York. Doors are at 12. It said music's at 1 p.m. They're kind of fibbing because music is starting at noon now. So right when the doors open, we're going to have music. We added another band. But a little bit about the lineup this week. It's Worlds Demise, it's Burn the Ships, Pure Chaos, Rest Assured, Leave It Behind, Servant of Sorrow,
Yeah.
Faded Lines, Silence Equals Death, Concrete Ties, RBNX, Fire is Murder, Trouble Bound, and Sick Bay. It's $20 at the door. All proceeds are going to Pets Alive Animal Shelter, which is here in Middletown, New York. I believe there's Pets Alive in different areas of the country too. This is sponsored by Outsider Magazine, also by Orange County Cannabis. They're going to have someone on at the show this weekend too. It's our local cannabis dispensary, so we've got it all covered. We have our spokesperson from Pets Alive. I got Daisy in the beginning of the pandemic, and she's helped keep me sane and been a good compadre for the last few years. And so she will make a appearance early in the day. She's not going to stay too long because her ears don't like heavy metal and hard rock. But anyhow, so Daisy said, say hello to everybody. So in the room tonight, we've got World's Demise. We've got Mr. Joe. Uh, who do we got then?
Sure.
We got
Prize fighter.
yeah, we got the
Oh,
prize
what do you
fighter
think?
guys. We got Phil from RBNX. We got Layla Eileen from Concrete Tie. Sorry, it's tongue twisted for you. We got Joe Frank down there to help put this together with me. We were all hanging out at Quinn's one night, and Layla was there playing with Concrete Ties. And Joe and I were talking about maybe we should do a fest like this. We should do a fest. We should find a charity. And we thought it was a good idea. So we kind of put this thing together. When was that? Like December, I guess, Joe?
Uh, well, Layla, when did you guys play with Brick by Brick?
Memory's not my strongest.
I know. I remember
um,
ruining.
I think it was.
I remember ruining your agnostic front cover.
With Brick by Brick,
nah,
a headline, whatever it was.
I think it was December.
Yeah, I
Oh,
think it might have
anyhow,
been December.
it didn't
It was
feel that cold.
Eddie Meadows' birthday thing.
it was Eddie Metal's birthday. So whenever Eddie Metal's birthday was, I don't quite remember either, but it was a couple of months back. We
Yeah,
put this
yeah,
together and we like here we are this weekend. I wanted to make a little video to promote the show. And Prize Fighter is going to kick this thing off. We didn't have them on the flyer, but they were a last minute addition. They're going to kick the thing off at 12. Also, there's a bowling tournament for bands exclusively that'll
Very
run, I
excited
think,
about
from
that.
2 to like 7 o'clock. Each band is going to have to go on the lanes. And I believe there's going to be prizes from Quinn's Pins and Rock Fantasy, my record store, for the top two bowling teams from the bands. And the one that comes in last, the worst one, is going to get some type of prize. And that's being run by the people over at Quinn's Pins. So that should make things interesting that
That's
day,
great.
along with
You have a
everything
bowling
else.
ringer right here. This guy's a professional bowler.
Oh my
No,
God,
oh,
you guys might have it locked in then. So
Ball-
also we'll talk a little bit about Pets Alive. Pets Alive would, other than the donations of the $20 to get in, they'd like for people to bring in cat food, dog food, blankets, towels, bleach, coats, I guess any kind of pet related items they will take in on Saturday. And let's start this off. The band that's going on first is Prize Fighter. When they're in the room down the bottom left, he's got a fiend hat on, Joe does. So what's going on, Joe? Tell us a little bit about
Nothing.
the band.
It started out with me on acoustic guitar because I played with a bunch of hardcore guys, and I wasn't tough enough. So I started doing acoustic punk rock, and I don't know, what was it, about a year ago, a little over a year ago, Chris played Inner Dam, Shai Halud,
Yep, yep.
and he was like, hey, I approached him. I said, hey, are you down to do drums and stuff? And he goes, yeah, whatever. And then Joey Lit and I have been working together now for 13 years or so, and he's a New York hardcore guy. So, it was back and forth over what our music's going to sound like. And we just started jamming. And now we have like this, whatever, dude. I don't know what it's called. We just like a bunch of hardcore guys trying to play pop punk, but we're old. So whatever that equals.
Cool, cool. We got Worlds Demise in the room tonight with Brandon and the rest of the guys. They're actually warming up for both of these bands are actually warming up for Saturday's show. And what can you tell us about Worlds Demise? You guys were a band years ago. I know you reformed and you played one of your first gigs over at Quinn's at the Night of Hell with
Yeah,
Abuse
absolutely.
Ritual and a few of the other bands back. What
Yeah,
was that,
so
November?
yeah, so I've been playing with this guy Dan right here since we're like 12 years old. We're both guitar players. So we started a band in around 1998, and we were really successful with it for maybe 5 or 6 years. Disbanded, and then I was coming to all the Quinn shows, and it was pretty exciting to see the scene forming around the Hudson Valley. And I ran into Abuse Ritual a bunch of times, Drew from Abuse Ritual, and he was super cool to me. He remembered me from back in the day when we played in the scene. And he's like, "Why don't you play in a band anymore? I don't get it." He's like, "You should get the band back together." And then it kind of gave me the idea of getting World's Demise back together. So I reached out to everybody. You know, we got a few of the original members, and then we found some really good members like Adam over here who's playing bass, Chris who's playing drums, and everybody else.
Woo!
Everyone else is in the band is original. So we've been doing it again for about a year and a half or so, and you know, we've had a really good reception around the Hudson Valley, so we're loving doing it.
Cool.
Looking forward to Saturday.
Oh, yeah.
Come out at 1 p.m. and watch us play. Get out of bed early.
Get there early, spend the whole day, go bowl and play pinball. Come
Come
over to
early,
Rock
stay late.
Fantasy. It's like 5 minutes down the road.
Spread the
Plenty of
word.
cool stuff to do in Middletown. We got breweries and restaurants, all kinds of good stuff. So
And for
it's a
the
long
animals,
day,
too.
but it's for a good cause. But I'm gonna head over to Layla from Concrete Ties. Absolutely
Woo!
love your band. I was digging on that record I bought from you, which was the Unrecognizable. Totally
Yeah,
dig that album. Totally love Disobey. I think it's a great song, among
thank
other
you.
songs on it. And it's an honor to have you on the Rock Fantasy Files. I was spreading the word and saying that Concrete Ties is coming back and do not miss them. They're much later, a few hours later in the World's Demise, but like I said, it's going to be a fun afternoon. And what can you tell us about Concrete Ties? How long have you guys been around?
So Concrete Ties themselves, they formed 2017 originally,
Yeah.
and this was with Dan and Jeff Facci, who's been with Full Blown Chaos and Brick by Brick. So then he got, I'm sorry about my dogs. So then he got we they got involved with Josh, and at the time I was putting shows together and in the Connecticut area, and yeah, eventually I guess they were looking for a singer. They had an original singer who couldn't continue with the band, unfortunately, due to family reasons, and ended up just trying out, and they liked us, so they kept me around, and so far, together we wrote Unrecognizable. The reason for the name, in fact, is because of the changes of the members throughout the years. So once I came in, it was kind of that title of Unrecognizable, kind of like a new band altogether. And it's been great ever since. I mean, people like us, which is great. And yeah, a lot of positive things coming, a lot of good things coming, and yeah, that's Concrete Ties.
What was a little bit of your history? Did you sing with some other bands before this, or how'd you get
Not at
involved?
all. No.
No?
Yeah, this is
Wow.
my first band. I had done like backup vocals before for others, but never actually been in a band before. So this was very exciting.
Cool, cool, cool. And are you working on any new music at the moment?
Absolutely. Yeah, there's a there's a lot of good stuff coming. Personally, I also worked with one song with Matriarch as well. I know that the new album is coming up. They just announced it for June. There's one song that I did with them. And yeah, Concrete Ties, we still have recording to do, but we have a lot of new stuff coming. And we're kind of defining our sound, our style, which is good. Yeah. Now we have two guitar players. We got Chris as a bass player. So it's going to be even fuller sound in this album, coming. So that's going to be very exciting.
Mm-hmm. Cool. And almost forgot to mention another sponsor. It's WXAX Radio. I'm actually drinking from their cup tonight, their stadium cup. And of course, they were doing a show on Friday night when we planned this, and Worlds Demise and a couple of the other bands, I believe Pure Chaos, and maybe one other. I think Sick Bay was on it. We decided to combine the shows. I want to make a shout out to Tracy and everybody from WXAX. They're going to be there in person. I believe they did a show on Tuesday on the radio to promote the show, played some of the bands that were going to be performing. So check that out if you still can. I don't know how that exactly works, but we got Phil from RBNX in the room too. Phil, let's tell hey about RBNX a little bit about the history and what you're all about.
Hey, Steve. Yeah, I'm super stoked for Saturday. Everyone's super stoked for Saturday. I said this before we even started filming. Like, I'm stoked just to be talking to you. I've been coming to Rock Fantasy before I can even drive. My mom would just be taking me there and all my friends. So, yeah, it's really awesome. I get to talk to you. But
Cool.
yeah, RBNX has been a band for over 10 years.
Wow.
But we've been friends. We're all friends from high school. My guitar player and I, Kyle, we were in a metalcore band way back when. So I've been playing with him for about 22 years. Mike, our bass player, he was at our first show at Club Crannel. So we were all just like been
Wow.
friends and kind of just in and out of each other's life. And I want to say since 2016, 2017, we started to really pick things up. Before that, we used to play like maybe once a year. And I think we clocked have been about 54 shows last year. So like we're really excited to like show everybody what we got, in the Hudson Valley, outside the Hudson Valley. But yeah, I like to compare us to, if Blink 182 is in the heavy metal, just more, we have so many different influences. Our guitar player Kyle went to University of Hartford for stand-up bass, so he's a classically trained musician. I consider myself more of a metal drummer. Mike's pure punk rock, hardcore at heart. So we kind of just all get together and it's friends first, and the music's kind of the byproduct of being awesome, just friends. It's the best.
Cool. So everybody's looking forward to this week. We're supposed to have a couple other people pop into the room. I'm not sure if they're coming though.
Can I jump in real quick? I remember seeing
Yeah.
RBNX the first time I saw these guys. It was at the Chance,
Wow.
Poughkeepsie. Yeah, first time I saw them. Love these guys.
Thank you. Likewise. Well, I'm so excited to play with all y'all as we all are. And, also I'll be running sound. So if this is the face,
Cool.
if anybody needs anything.
Yeah, I wasn't aware. I originally had Augie on for sound, and I wasn't aware that you were doing the sound, but we worked it all out. So
I have the SUV. That's all it means.
you're gonna be the all day man. You better have
I'm used to it. And shout out to Quinn's Pins for winning Wing Wars, because I will be definitely getting down on those all day.
yeah, exactly. I mean, if you guys are coming hungry, please. I mean, the place is nice enough to let us do that here. I've said this all along with Quinn's. We have not had a place in the city of Middletown, New York. It'll be this scary that had a liquor license and a restaurant in it since like the 90s, maybe
Wow.
like 94. Sportland, the Class. I mean, we had Sound Asylum, but it was a soda place. I mean, a lot of bands played there, of course. It was kind of legendary around here, but there wasn't anywhere. I mean, Brian's Backyard Barbecue, but they didn't do. I mean, they did a couple tribute metal bands.
There was back in the day. There was the Eclipse.
Yeah, that was
Eclipse was how long ago?
20 something.
Yeah,
All right, so Eclipse for the hardcore scene, I guess you were right. I guess I was thinking more in the metal thing, but we really haven't had a place like that in a long time. So it was really, really great that Quinn's came along. It'll be 2 years in October that I started booking shows and putting shows together now, and it's brought the community together. Like, look at World's Demise was kind of influenced to come back with the scene there, and we got plenty going on. And I mean, some people are stepping up and booking their own shows there, which is fine. You can actually rent the place. You can work deals, play for the door if you're looking into coming down in Middletown. And if you got a little tour coming around or something, we're doing that. We had the Escula Grind tour back in January too. We had our first like national tour with an actual booking agent and everything. Usually it's more homegrown where we throw stuff together, but it's been nice that Quinn's is around. And yeah, they did win Wing Wars, so they do have good wings. So
Keeler's the unsung hero of all this. Everybody,
I am.
Yeah, you're the unsung hero.
I haven't. The last time I booked bands was in like '91.
Yeah.
At the Rock Palace, I booked Rock Palace was '89 in the class. I mean, I was booking bands like Creator and Coroner. We used to have a Sunday afternoon hardcore thing. I didn't book the bands for that, but back then, Mucky Pup and Uniform Choice, all these bands used to play the Rock Palace back in the day. If anyone's old enough to remember.
And Mucky Pup.
Lip played with Uniform Choice and Mucky
Yeah,
Pup.
Papa Joe there, he remembers Rock Palace, of course.
Papa Joe remembers.
Papa Joe remembers, like Pepperidge Farm, right? And
All
Joe
right,
is a regular at Quinn's Pins. He's there for every show. He's there every Friday. He's just about it. Yep.
He
We're
got
gonna
me to
jump
go.
off, Keeler. We'll see you on Saturday for sure.
Okay, cool. Yeah, you
Yeah,
guys gotta get
okay,
back
everybody.
to
See you.
hopping those in, and we'll hang out for a couple minutes, see if Burn the Ships pops in, but I don't know if they're coming or not.
Dude, I
Joe,
think I was at the show.
Joe, talk a little bit. Come on, Joe, talk.
So yeah, I made the idiot choice to go to Steve, and I said, "Hey, you want to do a festival?" And like all good festivals, they just go. Steve goes, "Yeah, make some phone calls." So I reached out. Layla was probably first. Scotty
I think
Earth
she was there that night. Yeah.
Scotty Earth from Silence Equals Death.
Faded Line. We connected with yes, there's one member that's in both Silence Equals Death and Faded Line. Yeah.
I met you first time Cherry Street. You were throwing the show.
See, yeah.
Cherry Street show. Yeah, and I was like, yo, this place is dope. And that's my hope for Quinn's. Like if you guys are doing like a Scranton to Boston or an Albany, New York City, it's right in the middle. So when you guys are doing East Coast runs, it's another market that's opened up for you guys. But I remember reaching out to Nikki from Car Bomb, and they have a show that I think that night or the next day, and I was like, well, I don't want to stress you guys out, but it just seemed like all these bands were like super stoked to be on this thing, and I initially didn't want to be part of it, playing wise, because that's just a load of crap that I got to deal with. Steve, dealing with Joey Lip is just a pain in the butt. So,
oh boy.
But yeah, so I was like, well, I was talking to Philly from RBNX, and I was like, hey, what do you think of Soundcheck, blah, blah, blah. And he was super stoked on it. Love RBNX. I saw them open up for Sick of It All at the Chance. And I was like, Phil, if I got to say, you remind me of a less ska Against All Authority. But
I'll take it.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is.
Yeah, dude, I love it.
That was the same show I saw them. I remember we hung out too.
Yeah. Nikki was there too.
Sick of It All show. Yeah, he was. You're right.
Yeah, Nikki and Stevie. Messina was there.
Yeah.
That was a great night.
It was a great night.
You guys slayed.
Thank you.
So yeah, so I was like, I think Philly, I reached out to you. Well, Abuse Ritual was playing, or was it Sailor Grind? And I was like, yeah, I was just
Skula show probably with Sick Bay opening up, yeah.
And we talked, and you were like, I'll run sound, and we can do backline. And I was like, cool. Okay.
That's appreciated.
Now, and for a penny, in for a pound, here we go. Let's start booking stuff. So,
yeah, like, I might add that it's nice for the first show probably ever in existence. The drums are going to have consideration when it comes to sound, and not just like a second thought. So I like that.
You got it. Anything for you guys. Anything, so I can use my own drums.
And of course, I asked Burn the Ships, and they were so psyched to do it. They really wanted to play with Concrete Ties. They saw you guys play, and they're like, "Wow, we want to do a gig with them, and then Servant of Sorrow, who plays
Yeah, dude.
a lot,
Dude,
and of course Sick Bay is kind of our headliner, I guess, and of course they were on it too. So yeah, we put this thing together, and I guess all we have left to do now is spread the word to whoever doesn't know about it and come out and support the charity. The charity's really psyched. They couldn't believe. I told them a little bit more about it than I think they knew today. It's like we got like 13 metal, punk rock, and hardcore bands playing, and they're all giving their time for the charity. And they're like, this is going to be amazing. And they said they have a lot of dogs and a lot of animals that need help and need adopting. They just got a lot of animals from the South. So they're really psyched, and they're going to have a representative there. And everything for charity is good. You know, we usually do a one for the soup kitchens around the holidays every year. And I'm going to try to put one together and for cancer in August. What's
Listen,
metal
that,
band?
what's funny, Steve, is the hardest part about this whole thing was after we booked however many bands we had was bands reaching out and wanting to do it.
That's a problem. Yeah, it's like, well, sorry, we already got enough spots. And
all day, dude. I'll take that.
I mean, the other hard part was who gets to play where, but it kind of worked out. So.
I do want to shout out Fire is Murder. They're coming up. Steve
Yep.
Gallo, all these dudes, they're super rad. They're doing a double header. So they're playing in like mid Jersey that morning and then shooting all the way up to Middletown to play that night. And Layla and Phil can attest. Fire's Murder brings it. They are so good. And yeah, dude. I mean, again, the toughest part for me that day is dealing with these dudes trying to get our 20-minute set or whatever it is down. And Joey Lip packs everything up because he's so old. We're not done till 9 o'clock. This dude packed everything up already.
He's old. So, he's ready to go home. You already did your practice. You're not practicing after we get off the phone here.
I intended to.
I gotta get my pruning taken.
Oh boy.
But listen, we're gonna sign off because we are gonna run through our set again.
All right, cool. So I think we're all gonna wrap it up. I mean, it doesn't look like anybody else is popping in, but so here it is. I'm gonna hold it up so you can see it. It's the Hudson Valley United Throwdown, and it's Saturday at Quinn's Pits. Tell your neighbors, call your friends, come on out and see us this weekend.
Hang out.
Philly,
save the kitties, save the kitties.
Thank you, everybody.
Save the doggies, all that stuff. So, hey, if you like the Rock Fantasy YouTube channel, take a minute to hit subscribe and like and all that good stuff and comment. And we'll see you on Saturday at Quinn's Pins. Boom.
See you then.
All right. Thank you, Steve.